Welcome back to the Unstuck movement. These are true testimonies of breakthrough. I'm your host, Rob Z. Today we have the incredible Diane Strand with us on the podcast. And Diane, when I get into these episodes, I like to jump right into a question because the better the questions we ask in our life, the bigger breakthroughs we have in our life and in our business. Now, you have launched over 100 actors over your career into mainstream careers, and also provided enrichment to over 700 students who are getting into acting and getting into your JDS Creative Academy, right? So you've built a platform that has benefited you and also people who have a passion and a purpose in their life to produce profits from those passions that they have and the purpose that they're living out of. When you go back in time and you connect the dots to where you're at now, how do you see that connection being made? And how can other people follow that path of connecting those dots to see the success that they're having right now and how all things tie together?
Well, my dots really started showing up very early for me. Not that I was able to put a label on them at that time, but something consistent that always showed up in my life are the arts. The arts have been a clear, concise pathway for me to be exactly where I am today. I was diagnosed in second grade as dyslexic, and I was a struggling reader. School was very, very hard for me, but I had my entrepreneur tenacity that really showed up very early in life, even though I didn't know what that was back then. But it was because I really wanted to play Betsy Ross in the school play in second grade. And everyone told me that I shouldn't do that because I couldn't read. And I was always one of those kids that went, oh, watch me. And still kind of like that today. And those are the things that keep showing up through life. I set my goal on playing Betsy Ross, and I taught myself how to read, or at least how to audition. And I got the part of Betsy Ross, and I really wanted to win a candy selling contest in second grade because I wanted a black and white 19-inch TV. I think I just dated myself a little bit there, but I set my sights. I enlisted the help that I knew I needed, and I won that candy selling contest. And I still work in TV today. Those are big things that kept showing up all throughout my schooling, all throughout my career. It kept always driving me back. I am a child of the late 70s, early 80s. And for someone who didn't do well in school, it was much easier for me to check out. But because I wanted to be in the plays and I wanted to be a part of the theater programs, it kept me connected enough to finish high school, to move on, even struggled a little after high school, but it was being a part of the community theater that got me back to going to community college. So everything has its rhyme or reason. And I think if you start to look at those things that start to show up time and time again in your life, that becomes a little bit of your passion. I love the arts. I love all different aspects of the arts, whether it was acting or producing or directing. I love to paint. I love to make those things. Those aren't things that I do to make a living, but they're things that consistently show up in my life that always lead me back to the arts are the answer for everything. And I truly believe that as a successful entrepreneur now. I believe whether you are a creative that's looking to launch, you need a little bit more creative business, or if you're a business that is looking to leverage, market, and scale, you need some of that creativity to make that happen. So it always comes back to creative and arts. That is a through line for everything. And it has been in my life, as well as I see it in others that don't even know that it's there.
Yeah, I love that. We're all creative. We were all born with so much creativity, and so many people do not have anybody in their life or anything in their life when they're growing up that fosters that creativity. Then we end up graduating from school. We end up getting a job that we might not necessarily be using our creative juices for. And that stifles that creativity out of us, right? So I think it's so important to help people find that creativity inside of them. Because when you find something that truly lights you up, like you said, your passion and your purpose, if you find something that's around those two things, which those two words are so overused, but there's so much deep meaning, and there's such important words to focus on in your life, because there is creativity, deep creativity, when you work from those things, the things that you're super passionate about, and you really feel like you were put here with a purpose to use whatever that gifting is in your life. When you use it, that creativity shines. And something you were just saying that is so true. When we look back on our life, so if you're talking to somebody who can't figure out what it is they're supposed to do with their life, maybe in their 20s, they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever it might be, and you ask them to go back, I love to ask this question: what did you want to be when you were 10 years old? There's a lot of signs from whatever that thing is you wanted to be whenever you were 10. It might not be the exact thing that like, say you wanted to be a oceanographer, right? You might not need to be an oceanographer, but there's pieces to the puzzle of who you are and what you should be doing out of the thing that you loved so much when you were 10 years old. So, what would you say for yourself? Obviously, it was the arts. What are the main things about the arts? Obviously, creativity. But what are the other main things about it that you could pull out from when you were little that you absolutely loved that you do now in your everyday life and your business?
Well, I love to talk. That is one of my favorite things. And actually, everyone always told me when I was little that I would make for a great attorney or something, because I used to like to argue and debate and do those. And I still do. And those are still things that, I even pull forward into who I am today. That was really, if you would have asked me back then, I probably would have said an actor or a famous actor or doing something like that when I was 10 or 11. But, it's interesting. When I was listening to your question, I think my answer evolved 2 or 3 times, because you even brought up oceanography. I love animals and I love that. And that was a big part. And I was a swimmer. That was my sport. I was a professional swimmer. And I'm from the Midwest. I even I was 16th in the state of Ohio in my swimming skills. And so, oceanography was something that tossed around, but I never liked school enough, so it was never something that I was ever really truly serious about. But I do believe that that's where your purpose comes from. I have passion in a lot of different things, whether that be in the arts, whether that be in animals, whether that be in human kindness, and all the things that kind of go on. But when I was developing my purpose, it's not something that it's like, oh, my purpose is this, and I figured it out at 20 or anything like that. It's definitely that hindsight look as you get into it. And my purpose feeds off of my passion that can ebb and flow a little bit. It doesn't have to be so concrete that it's like you set this down and my passion is the arts, so I have to always do something related to the arts. It's manifested itself that way because that's how I live my life and where I found my success in my journey in making that work. But my purpose has shifted from different times. I mean, obviously my why is a big important part of that. I love my family. That was why I became an entrepreneur, was because of 15, 16-hour days in the entertainment industry and in this win and lose kind of environment that I realized didn't really benefit me, and it wasn't benefiting those around me. So I had to make shifts and changes to find how my passion could lead into other things. Sometimes you have to pivot and you have to make changes, especially if you're stuck, right? We're here on the Unstuck movement, right? So you have to find ways to unstuck yourself and let that purpose and that passion lead you into different areas. And, sometimes my purpose is my family, but I really found out that my purpose was all about dreams. It was making my dreams come true, which led into when my dreams were coming true, I was really making other people's dreams come true. So you have to find those through lines and you have to read into them in different ways and realize that there is no one clear pathway that you always have to move in. You come to forks in the road and things change, and you have to pivot sometimes. You have to unstuck yourself from certain different things because not every every pathway has that, light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes you have to pivot to find the light that's shining somewhere else. And I just believe that if you have that mindset of always looking for the positive and looking for that passion and looking for that purpose, you're going to find happiness within yourself. And then you're going to be able to deliver that to others, because your purpose is going to turn into profits. And then what do you do with those profits? If you reinvest them, whether it's reinvest them into your life, reinvest them into your business, reinvest it into someone else, then your passion gets reignited, and there goes your purpose one more time.
Yeah, it just keeps going from there. That's really cool. I love the way that you put that. What do you say to somebody, because so many people, I know this to be the case for people in my life who have something they're really passionate about that they love to do, but they feel like if they take that thing that they're super passionate about and they love it to do and they turn it into a business, it's going to ruin their passion for it. They have this mindset of, if I make money off of this thing, it no longer is going to be special to me anymore, and I'm going to end up hating it because now it's the thing that I have to make money with. When I always looked at that as the opposite. If I can make money doing the thing that I love to do and I'm passionate about, holy cow, like that's hitting the jackpot. So what do you say to somebody who has that mindset that the passion, the thing that they just love to do in their free time, could never become a business because it will ruin it?
Well, I would actually tell them to probably rethink that philosophy, unless it really truly is their escape. If they're out there and they're making a living and they're comfortable in what it is that they're doing, then it's okay to have more than one passion in life, and not every passion has to become your profession in that sense. But if what you love to do is also what you feel is going to drive you into the best profit scenario, then, you put that passion and turn it into a purpose. And then it doesn't, there are hard days. There's no doubt about it. Not every day is, roses and unicorns running by. But when the unicorns come by and they are following my passion and my purpose, I hop on them, and you go for it, and you take that all the way to the end, and ride it. There is no real clear definition of what you should be doing in life. I think you have to do what makes you happy. If you come home every day from what you're doing and you're miserable, nobody wants to spend time with you. You don't even want to spend time with yourself. So why are you doing that? That's not what we're put on this earth to do. We're here to be able to inspire others while we're inspiring ourselves. So if your passion allows you to do that for somebody else, then I would go do it. If your passion is just solely feeding your soul and your other passions are what you're turning into profits, that's okay too. There is no real rule in that. Not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur. There are definite mindset and skill set that come behind it. You have to be able to dust yourself off. There are learning things that happen in the win and learn situation. I don't believe that you ever fail or you've lost, but you might have to get back up and try again in a different way. And if you have that passion, if your passion allows you to keep doing that, then go out and make your profits that way. If your passion is in something else, or your passion hits a wall when it gets too hard or too difficult, then maybe that's not your purpose, and you need to go find the other thing that gives you that purpose and fulfills that need inside of you, so that you can turn it into profits, and then you can feel like you're contributing to society. You have to be able to give to be able to get. And if your passion and your purpose allow you to give, then you will get, and then you will be able to make that into your entrepreneurial journey or your success journey.
Yeah, that is so true. I love that. And that's something I did want to touch on. So we have to jump into a 60-second break for the sponsor of the show. But when we come back, I want to talk about your acronym for HOPE, because I love this acronym. Help one person every day. So every single day, making sure that you're helping somebody. And being of service is something we talk about in this podcast all the time, because it's the way to get yourself unstuck. selflessly serving other people gets you out of your own head and also helps you to find your own gifts. So I want to know how helping one person every day, how you live that out practically in your life, and how that acronym has changed your life for the better. We're going to talk about it in 60 seconds.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're a growing tribe, a community of entrepreneurs all over the world, globally, all across the country, high performers, titans of industry. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more clients, more money, more profit, the bottom line, and of course, grow your circle and your network like never before, this is where you want to be. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. We are scaling massively. We want to welcome you in. Check me out on Instagram and on Facebook, the @ JASCO25. We look forward to having you join us. Take care.
I'm a sucker for a good acronym, honestly, Diane, because it helps you to take a big concept or a big idea that has had a huge impact on you and breaking it down into a word. And so when you take the word hope and you break it up like you did, help one person every day. I love that because it keeps it so simple. And I love when things are simple in life. So how have you implemented consciously and practically helping a person every single day into your life? And where did this come from?
Well, people used to ask me once I started the nonprofit, what do you do? What is your job title, or how do you work? What is it? And I say, I make dreams come true. And I do that by providing a little hope. And I was in a coaching session with somebody, and they defined hope as help one person every day. And like fireworks went off around me, and I went, oh, because I love acronyms too. Everything has an acronym or a quote or something. And when I heard that, it was life-changing. And it was probably about 4 years ago that I kind of heard that for the first time and adopted it. And I sat down and I went, okay, so how do I really help one person every day? And, some days I'm lucky enough to help far more than one in a day, which is great. And sometimes maybe it's just helping myself as well. There are days that, I just need to help myself get back in tune, get back in line with my own jive of what it is that I want to do. Like I said, not every day is, roses and unicorns. There are tough days. There are days when, you have to brush yourself off and, you feel like the world can be crumbling around you. But when you start with gratitude, and that's what I always try and drive back to, is the gratitude. And sometimes I have to look for that pen and that piece of paper. And then I get grateful that I found the pen and I found the piece of paper, and then I can start writing, and then more will kind of start evolving from there. I am fortunate. I have a nonprofit. I have a lot of students who I can impart wisdom on, or give them strength, or help find resources for people. I kind of can conceive myself to be a little resource index of trying to break into the industry, or how the industry works, how to find a job, workforce development and economics. I feel like they all go together with the arts, no matter what industry or business that you're in. So I start with that, and then I just see where it kind of takes me and how it goes, whether that's being nice to someone and letting them cut me off and helping them out get there first if that's what they need to do, or if it's someone who's looking to break into this industry and they need some skills or some training or some doors open for them, or if it's my staff who might just need a little bit of, support or encouragement to be able to do what it is that they need to do to get through. It comes in a majority of different ways. I don't sit down and keep a list of everyone that I've helped for that day, but I just know that when I end my day and I'm back on my pillow, I can look back and went, okay, well, it was good. So-and-so got this, or this happened, or, I made it to another day. It was a tough day. And guess what? I'm here. I'm going to bed and my family's safe and they're at home with me. And that's a win. So, I just look at those things in the right mindset. And then, when you're in that positive and caring and giving mindset, you'd be amazed of all the things that come back to you in multitudes of happiness.
It's so true. Yeah. The more we put that out, we get so much of it back. And every day is like, I love to look at every day as a chance to start over again. 'Cause if you didn't do yesterday right, you can do today right. Just like if I didn't do the last hour of my life right, I can do this hour right. But every day is an opportunity. So a lot of people look at each day as like, oh no, I got to get up again. I got to deal with my job again. I got to deal with whatever the difficult things in life are. And everybody has difficult things in life. We can choose to look at those things as a gift or as a curse. Man, now if I look at it as a gift, it's like, wow, now I have a gift that I can show up for people that I work with, employees that I have, or coworkers that I have, or family members that I have, that you're not getting away from it. So why not embrace it and find how you can bless people throughout the day? So I really love that acronym for HOPE, because being able to help one person every day and having that mindset does give you hope. When I wake up each day, today is going to get better, and it's going to be better than the last day, because I've been stacking up all of these wins, not just for me, but for other people. So when you're helping people specifically through JDS Studios, what does it look like? Yes, it is. It's very contagious. I love it. It's
yeah. And it's a ripple effect.
I used to look at
one person, they help more.
Yeah. I used to look at life completely differently. I used to look at it backwards, where I was kind of like dreading every day. And as I turned that over to being excited and grateful for every day, everything changes. It's such a beautiful way of looking at life. So I really love that's how you look at things, and that's how you value things. We'll talk a little bit about JDS Studios. So what do you do in JDS Studios to help people?
Well, JDS Studio is a building. It's a 10,000 square foot building. It has a 100-seat black box theater. It has a 40-foot green screens television studio, and then production and creative space around it. So here we not only have our video production multimedia solution company, where we do training videos and marketing videos, and we're an event venue and we rent the space out. We have the Actors Studio, where we've launched over 100 careers into the entertainment industry for actors, producers, and directors. And then we have the nonprofit JDS Creative Academy. And the Creative Academy has a lot of different creative arts programs, whether they're extracurricular for those that are looking to build a pathway and learn from behind the camera or behind the theater stage to in front of the camera to on stage, as well as we have a video production day training program that works with adults with developmental disabilities. And we help them learn the skills to be able to work in this industry. We then find them internships and hopefully move them on into careers and jobs as well. We've been pretty successful in that. We have over 30 adults with developmental disabilities who are here on a day-to-day basis, Monday through Friday, training as well as working as part of the crew. We have a television show. We have big international festivals that they help us produce and put on as part of their training, as well as they have their own programs. And so that's a little bit, whether we're bringing someone in new and helping them realize that they have a purpose in life, that they're more than just their disability, that they can definitely reach out and have successful career beyond, being the Walmart greeter. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but, some people have bigger dreams and goals. and we're here to help them, reach those dreams and goals and learn the skills that are necessary to be able to do that. We're a college, but yet we're not. We're a business, but we're also a nonprofit. We are here to not only work with our community and be able to help them through the things that we do. Our TV show, we are the first in Riverside County for news and information. We're part of the LA media market, so everyone here watches LA news, even though we have 2.4 million people in Riverside County that want to know what's going on in their backyard, and we were the first to bring that to our area. We're now moving into our 7th season of that show that is now streamed. It's called Spirit of Innovation, Arts Across America, and it's streamed all across the nation, whether that's through YouTube and through social media, but we're also on binge networks and Apple TV and Roku and Amazon Fire. So we have a pretty big audience there to be able to shine a light on who we are and what we do and how we help others reach for their goals and dreams, and with a little bit of the arts touching everything.
That's incredible. Incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love the fact that the title of this podcast, taking those passions and those purposes, the purpose you find in your life, turning it into profit, like you truly do live that, and you've created that for yourself, and now you're creating that for other people by creating this nonprofit. So I love the fact that you took the thing that you were so passionate about and you took it from ideas in your head into real physical things in life. And not only have you seen great things through this, but you're helping other people grow, because there's so, honestly, when I help people with podcasting, like help them launch a podcast, right? I try to talk about the things that most people don't talk about, which is the personal growth that comes from being in front of a camera, learning how to speak effectively, knowing who you are, being aware of who you are, being able to actually like interview somebody, active listen. Just know all of those ins and outs makes you a better human being. And that kind of stuff does not get talked about enough, especially when it comes to acting and stuff like that, right? Because that can be looked at as very self-indulgent and very something that's only feeding you because you want to become a superstar or whatever it might be. But it sounds like, from what you're telling me, like you're really giving people life skills. You're helping people grow from the inside out so they can go out and help others. That is
Absolutely.
The most meaningful thing that people could ever learn. So have you heard that from people working out through the years? Like, I may have learned how to act or how to do things behind the scenes, but the way I've grown personally is way more than any of the things that I learned.
Oh, absolutely. Side. I mean, those were some of the best things that I heard early on when we launched the Actors Studio, and the byproduct that comes from acting. Number one, you become a stronger reader. I am testament to that. From somebody who could not read and had to teach themselves, not only am I able to read, thankfully, but I also write. I've written 2 books. I have written a screenplay. I write proposals and programs and curriculums that are approved by the state of California for apprenticeship programs. And that all came because of my love for the arts and starting out. I believe that, acting not only, it does put you better in touch with even human nature and human kindness, because as you have to step into another character's shoes and realize that, those are characters that we're playing. We don't have to be those people. We can be something different. It teaches self-confidence. It teaches you math. The arts are a huge thing. Music is math and science and technology. That's where, STEM turned into STEAM, because if you don't have the arts touching all of those things, engineers, they need to collaborate. You need to learn how to work with others, and acting and theater and, working in those kind of things. I can tell you want something done, hire a theater kid, because they know how to get those things done. They can run backstage and change their clothes and come back out and be somebody different. And, working with all the different things in a teamwork situation. And that's what acting and the arts really help people learn how to collaborate. You won't have good research and development if you can't communicate with the other researchers, right? So when you are being able to work in outside of your silo, everyone becomes better. And I believe that's what the arts teach. I believe that's what these skills teach. We all have to market in today's world on social media and be able to put content out there and be able to share ourselves out there. So how do you do that without always opening a vein, so to speak? Because, we don't need to share our deepest, darkest secrets just to be able to be approachable or be able to have others be able to relate with us. And, you can share some stories. I always believe that, the discomfort is temporary, the growth is permanent. So when you get to the other side and you're in those growth moments, you can share some of those discomfort moments without being so detailed oriented that somebody has to be inside your head, but you can still share how you move through something and how you grew from something and how you have done that. And I believe that comes with creativity and being able to express yourself and being able to put yourself out there, and those are the benefits that the arts teach. And when we bring people in here, whether they know nothing about the industry or they think they know everything, there's always something to learn when you're in the creative zone.
Incredible, Diane. I love it. And you're like, in the creative zone, you are going to learn so much about yourself. You're going to grow so much by tapping into that creativity. So I think that's the thing that I love the most about what you're talking about, is helping people learn how to tap into that creativity or to find it again if they've lost it in their life, because that is the most important thing for us, just to feel alive and to feel young again, right? And to be excited about life. You've got to be tapped into your creativity. And that's what we were made to do. We were made to create. So let's get out there and let's create something incredible. That's so true. This has been a wonderful conversation. If they want to find out more about you, is the best place to find information jdsstudio.live?
That's a great place to start. You'll see all the other businesses linked up there, whether that's our video production business, our Actors Studio, the nonprofit Creative Academy. You want to check out the TV show, Spirit of Innovation, Arts Across America. There's a link there. And then we have our annual 3-day digital media festival, DigiFest Temecula, which submissions open in October, and the event is every April. And so it's a great place to learn all the different things that we do and see all the people that we are able to gratefully impact, and how they're doing and their successes as well.
I love it. Check out the website. Diane, thank you for all the work that you do. And this has been another episode of the Unstuck Movement.